In this week's episode of Well, That Went Well, we've got a little bit of this coming up.
Ideologically. Might fall out a little bit over this. Let's have a good old-fashioned Brexit row.
And obviously, this week we will be talking about this. When you behave like Nigel Farage, you've got everything fucking coming to you. I'm so annoyed at him.
There might be a bit of this, because like the Apollo, because that famous thing that goes up, I had this weird fear that I was going to piss myself on stage.
And we will be shaking hands, cuddling and kissing over this. Is there any other word for pussy that you could use in a sexual context?
I hear you, bro. I've got you.
Hello, good evening and welcome. Who did that?
That
Hello,
was
good evening and
David
welcome.
Frost, and not the Brexit guy.
No.
Well, I'll say the title. Clearly, you're unwilling to say the title. This
Correct.
is Well, That Went Well. It's a topical comedy which basically picks up on the disasters of the last 7 days. This was due to be the final episode, but I've got good news, Jonathan Pye Walker. For the listener, view, whatever it is that we're going to do another bonus special episode next week. Just because this is a lot of people's Friday nights.
I know what that
now.
bonus special episode is, and it's basically us just trying to recoup some costs, isn't it, really?
Studio costs are a driver of this, trying to get a few quid back, but also it's for the fans.
It's for the fans. It's for the fans.
15,000 subscribers,
which is amazing. We and thank you actually so much for your continued support, and keep pressing those buttons.
When you do that, do you know you look like, remember the original episodes of Pop Idol where they used to go cool and do that? You look like that. You look like Gareth Gates.
Is he the one
more fluent? Let's be honest.
Let's move on.
That was a start. Right, now, we were supposed to be doing a big reveal, which our producer had set up here, is that if you've been watching the previous few episodes, you'll know that Jonathan here has been annoyed about the positioning of the comma. And I was supposed to point towards it, and we were supposed to get his reaction. But this is what happened in the roll-up to record, where I ruined literally everything. Jonathan, do we do that? Right, I reckon we get the news out of another episode, then we go straight to that.
I hadn't seen that yet.
Fuck.
You could have had that.
Fuck.
Knob.
All the planning. Producer Will is a nice guy, but I got the eyes, man. I saw his tough side.
You completely screwed that one up. I honestly hadn't seen. But look, it makes sense now. It still looks like a Gillette advert, but a grammatically correct Gillette advert.
Well, that went well. You know what we need now is we need a guy come in with a really square jaw and then just throw American football to his muscular father.
What about that?
Yeah, it's
a neck.
Yeah. You know, there's some stubble coming through.
There is some stubble, but there's also quite a lot of skin.
I think
as previously discussed in another episode.
I think you're
Check
over
it out.
Self-conscious. I do not think that's an issue that you face.
All right, okay.
Honestly, it's like me. You could tell me that, Jeff, your forehead isn't massive, so
I could say that.
You could say that.
Should we get on with some comments?
Yeah, from the Q&A episode.
Comments from the Q&A, comments generally. MPs. There's a lot of stuff about MPs' wages.
So this is a big thing we discussed in the most recent Q&A. I felt that they should get quadruple their wage. You felt it should go up by about,
I thought they should definitely get more.
Like 10 quid a week.
No, I thought, what was it? 120k after tax. £10,000 a month is what I thought would be enough. MP should get minimum wage. This is from a shape-shifting monkey. So what the hell do they know? MP should be on minimum wage. If they think that's enough to live on, then let them demonstrate it. But this also the effect of people that doesn't make sense.
Really? What, the bloke that thinks MP should be on minimum wage is not making sense?
It's the biggest incentive possible for them to raise it to a decent figure, dragging everyone up with them. If they need to improve the lives of everyone to benefit themselves, you can be sure it will happen. If that's the only way to improve other people's lives is to improve their own.
Do you know
it's
what?
Just such a cynical, horrible way of looking at the world. I mean, I appreciate your point, but I don't agree with you.
What I think is if people just really hate MPs and they don't want them to have anything nice, then just say that. What I noticed with some of the more, let's be honest, left-leaning responses, there was, I think, a dangerously populist element, which if you actually played it out would be so damaging to our democracy.
Oh, yeah.
One of them said that it should be like jury service, where everyone just comes along and is an MP for a while. And honestly, immediately my brain went to some sort of like democratic Mad Max version, beyond Thunderdome. If anyone's done jury service, you would never say that. You would never
Also,
say
just
that.
imagine, oh shit, I've got to be an MP for a month. Oh, god damn it. Some people agreed with us. Jeff wins. Tomathan is way off on the MP's pay. Calibre of politicians will only go up with pay more in line with commerce.
I mean, there's literally a phrase, isn't there? Play peanuts, get monkeys. But what we're sort of saying with MPs, some people, is pay peanuts and get the best people.
The best of the best.
Like the absolute most pure-hearted, but not only pure-hearted, but brilliant administrators and legislators.
Yeah, and good at, home budgets, because they are only on minimum wage.
Yeah, they know where the cheapest Nescafe is in bulk.
You remember when this series started and everyone hated you and everyone loved me, and you get all the shit and everyone's just going, but Tom's right.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff was right in the last one. Jeff was right when he said they're warming to me. Honestly, couldn't stand him in the pilot episode and thought he was unbearable. And now would almost go as far to say I like him.
Oh, well,
Almost.
Lots of faint praise, lots of damning.
Us lefties, for a lefty to admit that they quite like someone who votes slightly differently to they do, that is a big win.
That's a
for
journey.
You, Jeff.
But, I mean, first up, it wasn't a pilot. That was the first episode. So they've negged us both there.
Yeah.
Mate. Yeah.
And just to reiterate that your popularity is going up, whereas mine's going down. This is from Mac in Oz. Well, Tom, here's one Jonathan Pye subscriber you've lost thanks to you pushing this shit on your own subscribers. Hope you wake up to yourself soon.
Yeah, but that isn't a criticism of me. They're probably hating you for being...
I'm working with you. That's reasonable. I'm a left-leaning person. I'm always glad when they're talking about you, when you're on the line-up for the news quiz. You're my favourite way to escape my usual echo chamber.
There you go.
Jeff, you're getting some love here, man. You're getting some love.
Doesn't really work for the act, though, does it, mate?
Not really.
I've got to be pushing back on the liberatis. No one's ever said that, have they?
Liberatis.
I don't know what that is.
He's
a composer, isn't he?
No, that's Liberace.
Right.
He was a massively homosexual pianist.
There is
nothing wrong. What is wrong?
No, I know, but Will was laughing as well. There were about 5 jokes that I wanted to do, but if I did them, hate crime, you did them pretty funny.
It's not a joke. He was a massive homosexual who played the
There's
piano.
no need for massive.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That noise. We've all heard that when the rent's due.
Oh. One more. This is an attack on you. I'm really looking forward to the episode when they finally get a right-wing person on. You're not right-wing enough, Jeff.
So that would be a right-wing person.
That will be someone who wants to like you, but you're not.
That's somebody. That sounds like an attack from the right.
Yes, he wants you to go more right-wing.
Yeah, but what they often mean by that is they mean on cultural issues, whereas I'm more economically right-wing. And I tell you, once upon a time, my economic views made me the radical iconoclast within comedy. And then within a few years, I was being called Uncle Jeff by the right.
Well, I think we can talk about how we are perceived in the comedy world, because we're going to be talking about the Live at the Apollo and our sort of comedy.
Do you know what's so lovely there is that in the early episodes, those kind of links, only I was doing them, but you saw it.
I'm getting into it. Look at me. I know you're not supposed to go over the mic, but it's better mic work than usual.
You did a beautiful link.
I've been on a course.
We will be talking politics in a moment, but also remember, subscribe, hype, tell your friends. Just speak to people about this show, because we always start, we talk politics, we talk showbiz, so we're going to talk about Live at the Apollo. But first up, what we're going to start with, the Half-Arsed Monologue.
Half-Arsed Monologue. Oh, don't forget the Half-Arsed Monologue, please, Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, there was a good half-arsed way to go into the Half-Arsed Monologue. But we will be discussing Andy Burnham's plans on social care, the right wing talking about immigration, and Live at the Apollo. But first up, it is going to be the Half-Arsed Monologue.
Oh, and also I am going to be talking about By the Power of Grayskull. I hope I've got sweaty pits. Sorry, the Half-Arsed Monologue.
That wasn't part of his catchphrase. All right, so this is the Half-Arsed Monologue, so it is exactly what it says. And this week, I've been busy, had some stuff going on. This is more half-arsed than usual, and you'll see very soon. Tomathan here is my only audience member, so he basically decides whether these gags live or die. Okay, right, you ready? Audience member. Imagine if you put audiences under that pressure.
First gig I ever did was to 3 people. As Jonathan Pye, because I didn't advertise it because I was so scared. 3 people. So this is 3 people's almost worse than 1 person.
One person is a lap dance, isn't it? Really.
Oh, God, Jeff.
if it's going badly.
Come on, then.
Andy Burnham gave a big speech outlining his plan for social care, pledging to bring forward the review, which is like me telling my wife that I've sorted the garden by creating an account on trustatrader.com. I don't like it. I fell out of love with it as I was saying it. It was weird.
The bones are there.
Thanks, man.
The bones are there. There is a joke in there somewhere.
What I wanted to say is that he hasn't sorted it. Everyone says he's got a plan or he's sorting it. All he's done is brought forward the end date of a review by a year.
It's the sort of gag setup that would work in a sitcom with a lazy dad. Or, you could be writing for The Simpsons.
I mean, I am a sitcom sort of dad in some ways. Also, I just thought the use of Trust a Trader was funny. It's got an alliteration. But the joke...
Check a trade might have been Trust a Trader, is it?
You got the alliteration there, I would say.
Yeah.
Burnham also pledged to let regional mayors keep more of their local income tax, which in a place like Sunderland could raise as much as £400. It's because they've got no jobs. Wow. Okay, naught from two.
It's another one where I wasn't listening.
Well, that means it might have been funny then.
Yeah, let's go with it was funny.
All right, I'm going to read this one again. This is a bold shout. All right. Burnham also pledged to let regional mayors keep more of their local income tax, which in a place like Sunderland could raise as much as £400.
Yeah, it's good.
It's solid. Former Deputy Labour leader Harriet Harman has said the next Labour leader should be drawn from an all-female shortlist because with top-tier talent like Angela Rayner and Angela Eagles, it's a fucking... Sorry, I quite like the joke and I laughed at it.
Oh, my God. Jeff, that's basic 101. Don't laugh at your own joke.
I know.
Or if you're going to laugh at your own joke, at least get to the fucking end.
Okay, let me try again. Because with top-tier talent like Angela Rayner and Yvette Cooper knocking about, it's a fucking no-brainer. I'm saying that... I'm not saying all women are shit. I'm saying even all Labour women are shit. I'm just saying that the people that could be leader aren't so great. Yeah.
Also, I just fucking hate the sentiment that you should be picking from, and also that idea of this is the most female cabinet we've ever had. Are they any good or are they not good?
Yeah,
that's all I give a fuck about. And representation is really important in that, and a diversity of opinion and a diversity of backgrounds is really important. Who's the best fucker for the job?
Well, there you go. Jonathan Pye Walker with pure
angry at your
Darwinian style sentiments there almost. Are you getting more right wing and I'm getting more left wing?
Maybe we're
osmosising.
Our wafts are mixing.
I mean, that's been happening the whole time, but ideologically. I mean, do we ever not laugh at gags?
But in the middle of your half-arsed monologue, me doing a fart noise is the funniest thing that's happened.
It's always going to be the funniest thing. The UK heatwave continues, and even the climate change deniers have stopped telling us all to calm down. However, we'll only know we're truly fucked when Clarkson starts driving a Nissan Leaf.
Yeah.
I shouted it a bit.
Yeah, Leaf. It's a reluctant yes for me on that one.
Okay. Half of England is in a state of drought. Meanwhile, the other half has been getting pussy virtually non-stop. Come on.
Yeah.
It's drought because people say drought like you're not getting... There is an issue with British people saying pussy in that context. Americans can say they getting pussy, whereas I say pussy.
Yeah.
It sounds weird.
I don't know if this will make the cut, but is there any other word for pussy that you could use in a sexual context?
I've got you, bro. Half of England is in a state of drought. Meanwhile, the other half has been getting poontang virtually non-stop.
Yeah.
Yeah? Works, right?
Imagine saying the word poontang in the middle of lovemaking. And calling it lovemaking.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think the guy that makes love doesn't say poontang.
No, I don't think so.
And the guy that says poontang doesn't make love.
Poontang to me, it sounds like the sort of thing four lads would do when they got out of Amsterdam train station. It's like... coffee shop or poontang? Where are we going first?
It's Jay from the In-Betweeners, isn't it?
Basically.
Katy Perry got caught in a giant plastic bottle during a recent tour show. A fan said, "We were terrified. At one point, it looked like she might actually get back to the mic and do some live singing." Oh, look at me with my claws out.
I didn't really...
It's fine. It can be a cross. I mean, it's going to...
What do you mean she got stuck in a bottle?
I mean, you have to see it. Like, if you're watching now, I don't know if we can overlay in a little clip here. It's hard to explain. But Katy Perry, at a gig, got a giant empty plastic water bottle, very much the same as like an Evian without a label, and used it. The crowd was supposed to surf her forward, but then the crowd basically turned around and started sending her back the other way. But if anyone could cope with it, it's an astronaut.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, why was she freaking out? If only that had happened in space, frankly.
Have you ever seen my lookalike, James Blunt? He's got this thing where he goes out on the crowd on a dinghy. And I've seen him do it a couple of times. You go, are you not shitting yourself? And also, you might never get back.
James Blunt is on social media despite being James Blunt.
Yeah.
That guy is not scared of anything.
Oh, he's very funny on social media.
He is very funny. He had a revival, didn't he? By just not giving a shit.
Just by not giving a shit and taking the piss out of himself and finding people who are slagging him off on Twitter and then trolling them and being even more funny about how shit he is.
Can we agree?
Which is beautiful.
It is beautiful. We're going to have to pay rights for that. Can we agree that your pretend fart and James Blunt's social media is much funnier than anything I just said?
Absolutely. That was, I think that was the worst half-arsed monologue so far. And to a certain extent, hats off to you, because they've all been awful. But to really...
I finally delivered on the concept.
Yeah. Dreadful.
Okay, let's hope the chat about politics is a lot funnier as we get into everything else is politics. Zach Polanski was in trouble this week after he collabed on an Instagram post which included in a carousel of photos a bloke with a t-shirt on with a joke about Nigel Farage and being beheaded, which also contained a link to a song.
But he did apologise for it, didn't he?
Well, a lot of people suggested in this Newsnight clip he didn't go quite far enough.
Do you want to take this opportunity to apologise to Nigel Farage?
Well, if I'd done it deliberately, I'd be apologising. But because this was a mistake, I think the important thing is that I point out it's a mistake, that I also make sure that I condemn political violence. And also, crucially, I make a commitment to be better on my social media.
OK. Do you want to apologise then or not?
No.
So, no. He was going to say it's wrong. He's going to say he shouldn't have done it and it was terrible, but
I'm not going to say sorry.
Well, he's more like, when you watch it, he's kind of going, well, I'm not going to say sorry to him.
Well, I think that's what was interesting about it. You go, I'm not going to say sorry until Nigel Farage apologises for all the things that he's done.
Yeah.
When you talk like that, Zach, you sound like Nigel Farage. You sound like that's exactly the sort of pettiness. I'm not going to do it until... It's exactly the same. And I think what's really interesting is this sort of exposes that you've got this populist right, you've got this populist left. And actually, the more you look into particularly Zach Polanski, you just go, you behave like Nigel Farage does sometimes. I mean, he's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot for posting it. He's a fucking idiot for not immediately going, oh, God, I'm really sorry. Because he's always talking about trying to take down the temperature. They're all talking about taking down the temperature. When you behave like Nigel Farage, you've got everything fucking coming to you. I'm so annoyed at him because I'm not a Green voter, but I think it's important to have, he could be an important voice on the left that pulls certain discussions further towards the left. For example, about the environment, which is something I care about. When he makes fucking stupid mistakes like this and refuses to apologise for it.
I'll just say, on behalf of your there might be some people that might take issue with you putting them two on a parallel. So
okay, well, all right. So there was another thing that happened. When the Golders Green arrest happened, there was an attack in Golders Green. The police weren't exactly light-handed when they arrested this fucker, and it was a violent arrest, really. And Zach went on going, how dare you arrest this fucking blah, 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 blah. The Prime Minister came out. It was Starmer at the time. Remember him?
Yep.
Keir Starmer. Oh, yeah.
Don't you forget about me, bitch.
Yeah. And Polanski hit back at his criticism, at the Prime Minister's criticism, but today the Prime Minister uses his office to attack the only Jewish party leader to score political points. And you go, if you're not scoring political points off your Jewishness by doing that, you're playing into that sort of culture war that the right plays into as well. The thing with him is that, do you remember Cleggmania? Where suddenly, exactly, we laugh at it, right?
Yeah.
For about 2 months, Nick Clegg was just like, actually, I got a comment that every week I do a wanking thing, but for about 2 months, the whole of the country was just going over Clegg.
Yeah.
I think similar happened to Zach, because at least he was cutting through, whereas the Green Party, it's just sort of been these rather sort of very well-meaning leaders.
Earnest.
But rather earnest, whereas he's got out there and blah, blah.
Yeah. But he's a TikTok raving vegan rather than quiet knitting vegan.
Yeah. He tofu and pills.
Yes. Organic ecstasy. Yeah,
exactly.
One of them ones.
And a few months ago, he admitted we're not ready for power. I'm not, I'm new to this. And like when that whole thing with him
That's
not
the
paying...
first accurate thing that he said.
It is, but it's just like, and everything you do seems to suggest that you're an amateur at this.
I think that's really interesting that you've sort of attacked what they've done from the left. Can I say what I think about reform? Is that I think that ironically, given what a lot of the right said about the online space in the back of the 2010s, early 2020s about Twitter's not Britain, you're all too online, you're all deluded about what Britain really thinks, is that reform got too online. It's really interesting. They got a bit cancelly, getting people in trouble. The online right became absolutely obsessed with ideological purity tests. And one thing I thought about being on the right in the mid to late 2010s was it was like the cool free speechy type place.
It was cool to be right wing. I hate to say it, but you were the
rebels,
because the woke narrative was the mainstream. So anything outside of that was actually rebellious.
There was a brief window where it was like that. And then what you realise was that some of the people that had spoken about free speech, the moment they had cultural and political clout, they just wanted to do all the same stuff. And they wanted to cancel people. They just wanted to be in charge of it. So what I realised was parts of the online right are basically like Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls. They were never really the outsider. They just wanted to be the bitch.
I mean, it's annoying to me because I have spent a lot of my own political capital, whatever, for the last 10 years defending...
Andy Burnham in the Andy Burnham
for defending...
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a go or supported right-wingers who have been pro-free speech and anti-culture, anti-cancel culture. And now it turns out, you look at them, they're turning into snowflakes. Look how snowflakey Trump is. Look how snowflakey Farage is the minute you ask him a question. That he gets, how dare you? And now he's calling for the arrest of Zach Polanski for stupid behaviour. You should check your own. You're a political leader. You should check your social media or have someone do it for you. But they call it the woke right, and I can sort of see what you mean. They're really sensitive and really snowflakey.
It was basically like, how dare you cancel and censor? That should be our job.
Yes,
exactly. We're the best.
Well, it's
position.
that weird thing that for decades it was the Daily Mail that was ban this filth, and then it was the Guardian for a couple of decades. Ban this filth, and it's like the Daily Mail went, oh no, we want that back, please. Well,
listen, not that I'm just trying to peg this back to the concept of the show, but do you think populism has popped?
In this country, it might have, and I think there's a couple of reasons why. Right, when mainstream politics fails the common man, for want of a better phrase, but when it fails the common man. Normal people look to politicians who are promising to burn the system to the ground and start again. When mainstream politics serves the majority of people, people don't look elsewhere, right? Now, if you've got Andy Burnham, who seems to be serious about social care, seems to be serious about issues that serve the populist, without being a populist prime minister. I don't think he is. So maybe that there's no need for those slightly outside of things. And also, Kemi Badenoch the Tories were just fucked. And I've never really liked her, and she's certainly not my politics, and I don't like a lot of the rhetoric that comes out of her mouth, but she's certainly found her voice, and she answers, unlike Zach Polanski, she does answer the fucking question. She's really good at that.
There's a bit of clarity. I would say one thing about us saying that it's popped. The Greens are still historically ahead of where they were, and if you had said to reform after the last election, by this point you'll be polling 24%, they'd have been delighted. It's almost like
have peaked rather
it's
than
almost
popped.
Like a podcast that got 57,000 in its second episode, then sort of plateaued a little bit back down.
But also never underestimate Farage's ability for a comeback. I mean, in 2-3 months' time, he could be top of the polls again, or he could have fucked off to Dubai like the rest of them.
But I always think Farage will be doing something. Polanski, I could easily imagine just going into like a Tesco mobile shop and then getting a mobile phone off him. Like he just steps away from it all.
Yeah. For some reason, it's sort of a florist.
Yeah. I don't know why. He just got back to the sort of grassroots activism.
Yeah. Or just managing a really unsuccessful youth club, something like that.
Deputy head of sixth form.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk now about whether we've spoken about this new dawn of Andy Burnham. I mean, we should say a caveat here about the mainstream serving the people. It's been about 10 days of good vibes. So can we just put that little sort of footnote on the Andy Burnham thing?
Yeah, which to be honest is more days of good vibes than Starmer got, because I think you had about 3 or 4 days and then he dropped his...
No, I don't think there were any good vibe days.
It was never that
Well,
euphoric.
the problem was with Starmer is we got in on like 34% of the vote, so like it was a bad vibe start, wasn't it? I often thought about his majority was, they said it was a mile wide and an inch deep. So it was like big balls, tiny cock.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. One massive ball.
Yeah. Uni ball. Monoball.
But I think the thing is, like you say, it was mile wide, inch deep, big balls, small cock. I don't think many people really voted for Keir Starmer. I didn't really vote for Keir Starmer. I voted to get the Tory bastards out. I think if there was a general election tomorrow, I would half be voting to keep reform out, but I would be sort of happily voting for Andy Burnham right now. 10 days.
I've got one for you. You might not even want me to ask this question. If you were in a constituency where it was a two-wayer between the Tories and reform, could you hold your nose and vote Conservative to keep reform out?
Yeah, I think I probably would.
Yeah.
I have no problem with tactical voting. Some people go, well, that's cheating. Reform say that all the time when it doesn't go their way. I would seriously consider it. Fuck you for asking the question.
Will it be in the final edit? I mean, you could ask me an equally difficult
all right,
question.
who do you hate the most?
Ed Davey.
Ed Davey. So could you vote Green to get
I'd
Lib
vote
Dems
anybody.
out? Just to not have Lib Dems in?
Ed Davey.
Is it Ed Davey or Lib Dems?
It's Ed Davey.
Ed Davey.
Can't stand the bloke. Honestly, here's the thing, the Ed Davey challenge. After hearing Ed Davey speak, 6 seconds later, can you remember how he sounds?
No, I've got
there's
no
nothing.
idea. I just imagine him on a water slide.
You'd be throwing yourself off things if you were Ed Davey. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Fucking hate the Lib Dems.
Wow.
One thing,
you've got restore, reform.
Yeah.
You got some real ghouls to pick. Ed Davey is the man you hate.
I had a point about restore. If you want me to do a dig on the right, I thought all of the right-wing parties, restore, reform, reclaim, they all sound like male pattern baldness treatments.
Yes.
Restore, reform, reclaim.
Yeah.
There's advance as well. That's Ben Habib. So that's more of a like impotence treatment, I reckon.
Is he not reform Ben Habib?
No. Well, this is what's so interesting. It's just like the hard left. They all fall out. They all fight like cats in a sack.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I've got a question for in the Q&As. I think we might be talking about Rupert Lowe. So
okay, we'll talk about Rupert Lowe
Q&A
then.
that's coming up in a couple of days.
But as we say, it's quite early days with Andy Burnham. But the other side of that is we shouldn't get carried away. But equally, some of the right-wing press have been keen to find an angle on this guy that's hard to lay a glove on. And you saw a couple of headlines, which I think we'll see now, which are about them questioning him on immigration. So what was it that irked you about this?
It was just the direct accusation to... Andy had said something the other day saying our policy... Andy.
There we go. But if you call him Boris, apparently that's not helpful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't irk me about it. I just thought it was interesting that you go, right, they've got their guns out for Andy, but Andy had basically said our immigration policy is working. I think what he really means is it's beginning to work. And actually the stats do bear that out, right? That there have been quite significant improvements in the last 2 years.
The year to date, the legal crossings are down 44%.
Yeah.
Legal migration has come down a lot over the last few years. That's true.
Yeah. So because yesterday, and it always happens in the summer, was, a really rather big day for boat crossings. Probably the same today, probably the same for the next couple of weeks. But I think it was 1,000 people or something, maybe. It might have been.
Summer holidays.
Summer holidays. They're just coming for a holiday. But it was that direct accusation at Andy that this is Andy's sort of problem. It's like they call it Labour's migrant crisis. Labour's migrant crisis. And it's little phrases like that. And then Suella Braverman got on it yesterday. Yeah, but what about... He was talking about FIFA and how disgusting what's going on with FIFA is. And Suella Braverman, but what about the boats, Andy? And it's all sort of fired at him as if it's his problem. And what Suella Braverman fails to mention is that she was Home Secretary when it really, really exploded.
Yeah, I mean, some of the funniest community notes on X are all Suella Braverman. Yeah. Probably like the top 10, 7 of them are, that was you. That was you that was.
Yeah.
and a little bit of Jenrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I think that it's interesting when this issue is, but it's still, there is something in the future for him to grapple with, because there are still a lot of people on the left and among his own back benches that really don't know how to develop an argument on this. Because on the one hand, there's a public which have repeatedly voted for parties or Brexit or policies or certainly platforms which suggested lowering both legal and illegal immigration, right? So that's been voted for repeatedly. So what you've either got to do is you've got to deliver on that, right? Or you've got to sell the argument of higher migration to the public and talk about the realities of what would happen to the economy if we didn't have it, birth rates, all that sort of stuff. Now, if you look at the kind of cohort of the last few years, none of them have the vision to do that, really, to sell the idea. So, but when you've then got to enact a democratic mandate, and I do think sometimes people on the left, they act like they can ignore this by saying things like safe passage and open borders and some really, I mean, look, when you say safe passage, it feels wonderful to say it. Well, open borders, it feels great, but it doesn't reckon with the fact that repeated democratic outcomes have voted via majority for some reduction in this area.
Also, I find the phrase "open borders" terrifying. It's absolute,
Well, look what's happening in, is it Ceuta? No, Ceuta.
Yeah, so I saw that. So you think we've got a problem here, but and that's another thing. This is Andy's problem, is it? 49,000 migrants crossed into Spain's North African enclave. How do you say it? Ceuta. 49,000 people in 24 hours, right? So this is our problem, but it's also Europe's problem. It's also all of Europe's problem. And I think you're absolutely right that making an argument for immigration is not the same, or is not diametrically opposed to dealing with illegal immigration. I think you can't win that argument about the benefits of migration until you must be seen to seriously tackle illegal immigration, which is tackling the boats. And I know a lot of people's arguments would be, but these are asylum seekers, and actually what's happened in this country is we've taken away loads of ways of people to enter the country legally, so they kind of have to do it illegally. A lot of people will disagree with me on that, but that is kind of pretty much the case. I think you can only, like I say, you can only win the argument about legal migration if you are serious about tackling, and really serious about tackling illegal immigration. But by virtue of that, what you also have to do is you have to invest in our immigration service, and you need to get rid of that backlog, and so that people aren't in fucking hotels.
You just made a really good argument there.
Oh shit.
But would you make it for £120,000 a year on a 5-year tender?
I would. Yeah. Well, I'd say anything.
He gets paid more than that for being
for
high.
120k tax free. I'd say absolutely fine. I'd join Restore for that.
Hope you're enjoying the show. Just remember, there are Q&A episodes which aren't topical. You can watch them anytime. There's now 3 of them, I think, and there'll be another one coming this week. Do leave your questions in the comment section.
Don't forget to subscribe. Also, come and see us. You're going to Edinburgh
24th of August to the 30th.
And I am going on tour, including 2 nights at the Hammersmith Apollo, which brings us on to
Death at the Apollo.
Death at the Apollo.
So first up, Death at the Apollo sounds like some awful cosy crime thing, but this is cancellation of comedy. This is not because someone said the unsayable. This is live at the Apollo after 20 years or so as part of the BBC cost cutting. They haven't got any money, and they cancelled that with Celebrity Mastermind and Blankety Blank. But obviously for the comedy fraternity, Live at the Apollo's gone. It
sort of seems to be an icon. Actually, for those of you who don't know Live at the Apollo, I managed to find a little clip of you, because you've done it a couple of times, haven't you?
Yeah.
Let's just
show.
No, I found this clip.
It's always good promo.
Yeah. Let's.
I try.
So I thought that was really good.
That's
stuff,
an
mate.
edit.
Yeah,
that's an edit. That is, first up, that's bullshit, because they would not have put in a cough in it. Like, they would not edit that in. It's known for being well edited. You can't put that. If that's on the internet, people will share that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I can't have that in the public domain.
It's in.
Is this because of the Tomathan thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Jeff smashing it at the Hammersmith Apollo. Yeah, so you've done it a couple of times. What is that like as an experience? Because it feels like there is no real career path for a stand-up comedian. You're lucky if you sort of make it, but it always felt like an aim.
It's a little bit of a Wembley. It's like getting to Wembley in the FA Cup final. It's almost like even if the gig's good, the gig's bad, you made it to that point.
Also, if the gig's bad, they're just gonna put canned laughter on and make you look fucking sweet, right?
Hence, no coughs, right? But what's really interesting is the physical element of the gig, because every other gig you can pace backstage, right? You have to burn off that nervous energy before you go on. Because the Live at the Apollo, because that famous thing that goes up. Right?
You stand behind.
You have to stand in one spot for several minutes, and I felt like I was going to pass out. And as it goes up, there's dry ice, there's lights, there's noise. I remember just seeing like colours and thought I had this weird fear. I'll be honest, a bit of mental health, bit of male mental health. Yeah, I had this weird fear that I was going to piss myself on stage.
I've got a weird thing about, and the more years it goes on, is that statistically, I will shit myself on stage at some point.
It's
to a point where I have discussed this with it with my tour manager every year. What is the procedure? Well, there's a pair of spare trousers backstage just in case. I don't know.
I love the fact that you have protocols for this. Like somebody brings you a briefcase with the nuclear code.
Yeah. The nuclear football and a spare pair of trousers.
We should probably talk about Live at the Apollo. But it's amazing. Like for some, you can sell it out on your own. But like for somebody like me, I couldn't sell out that kind of venue as a tour show. It's a great room. It's an amazing room.
It is an incredible room, and I often want to point out to people because it's a big room.
Yeah, 3,500.
I went to see Jerry Sadowitz there. You know, when he got cancelled a few years ago, so then he did a tour on the back of it, and I was like, I just want to see what he got cancelled for. Anyway, I deliberately bought tickets right at the back. One, I didn't want to be near the front on a Jerry Sadowitz show.
Well, yeah,
you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see if it works, because you are quite far away, and every seat is pointed toward. It feels like a theatre.
It's a great room.
There isn't a bad seat in the
And
house.
you generally have amazing gigs there. But what has happened, I guess, with the BBC is they've got either static or reduced budgets, and they've looked at the cost of it. Now, some people have said to me on social media, well, they should be making money out of ticket sales for it. There are no ticket sales, okay? The BBC, they don't do that yet. To make sure it's full, you have to give them away for free. And yeah, if you could charge 20 quid, obviously that would be profitable. But some people will say, well, comedians probably want to do it for promo. No, you need some return on that, because you have effectively burnt your material. Now, that was the theory.
Good point.
That was the theory once upon a time. But what changed in the interim was that in a very short space of time, you had younger millennial and older Gen Z comics going, hey guys, just putting out my special that I filmed for $4,000 for free everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? And then they'll go, BBC must have gone, why are we paying them X amount of pounds when they're literally pumping it out for free? And just the comedy marketplace. Whereas once upon a time, Live at the Apollo, one of the only places you could see new stand-ups, then suddenly you got YouTube, you got TikTok, you got loads of Netflix specials. I personally understand why the BBC did this, because the marketplace changed. It used to get 6 million, and now it's getting 600,000.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily a comment on the quality of it. It's just the way people can consume it as well. I mean, it's 20 years ago when it started, I wouldn't have been able to exist. I doubt YouTube was probably just started, but we didn't really.
What would you have been doing? Like a little bit of MySpace?
Me?
Yeah.
How would this have happened without me?
Oh my God, you were the original Tom. That was it. Remember, Tom was everyone's first friend on MySpace.
No, I never did MySpace.
Okay, maybe I'm older than you. Than you. But, you talk about the quality. It is fair to say that when it started, it was Jack D and generally two very famous people. Something did seem to happen in the early to mid 2010s, where it went for two people that were very famous to one person you sort of knew and two people you haven't heard of, right? Now, there is an argument, was the quality threshold where it was previously? So I do think they would have inevitably had lower viewers, but I think it might have hastened it a little bit.
I think there was a cultural shift in comedy, probably, like you say, early 2010s, 2012, 2013, where it suddenly shifted to being pretty woke, right? When I came into the comedy world, I guess 2016, it was peak woke, right? It was all about who's the target of the joke. You must, all this. You mustn't punch down identity. It was all about representation. Every joke was about identity, which is weirdly why I wonder whether I cut through when I did, because I was taking the piss out of woke culture as well. So there weren't many lefty comedians doing what I was doing. So I think it's not a Live at the Apollo problem. Live with the Apollo shifted with that culture and became a lot more woke, a lot more representative, which has positives and negatives, right? the problem is I think we're out of that phase of that sort of culture war, that where everything is woke, everything is viewed through the prism of identitarianism. I think we're out the other end of that, and weirdly, what that means is Live at the Apollo looks dated. Weirdly now, because it feels like weirdly a different era.
Do you know what's really interesting? Because you're talking about, and this is some things that a lot of people in comedy would say, is that the diversity push went too hard, too fast. And they were really good comics, but it went from people who have been doing it 15 years to people that have been doing it 2, maybe 5 years sometimes, right? Arguably, a lot of comics, but probably everyone would say this, I probably only got on it for diversity reasons. I'd like to think that I had the jokes for it. I would like to. But it's certainly true to say that at the time my politics was a novelty factor.
Yes.
And so I'm going to sit here and say that a straight white, middle-aged man, I used the diversity quota. I did it, yeah. I played the gammon card?
Yeah, the racist Tory card.
The racist, the thick Brexit. What was it? It was always selfish Tory, stupid Brexiteer, racist. Yeah. I mean, selfish Tory had a bit of like charm about it.
What I don't know how comedy agents are going to cope without Live at the Apollo, because I never went on Live at the Apollo, and the excuse was always given, we've never had a character comedian on, which is why I go, oh, well, it's fine, I never went on it. But every comedy agent I've had, and I've been through a few of them, but there was always that dangle of I'll try and get you live at the Apollo. I'll try and get you live at the Apollo. And it was weird that it feels like if you got there, then that's your career sorted. Yes. I was on BBC One for 10 minutes. Surely I can pay off the mortgage now.
What happened was there was a brief period where if you did it, you could like sell out a tour. And then it became the career thing, was we'll get you on Live at Apollo, we'll sell out a tour. I remember when I did it, right? At first, your follower numbers would go up. I did it and my Twitter, as it was then, numbers went up by 200 people.
Wow.
And I was like,
no one's fucking watching anymore.
I wasn't that funny.
They don't give a shit.
I mean, maybe like everyone else on that show like went up by 20,000.
Well, if that clip's anything to go by, I think you smashed it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's getting taken out. So we have got a special episode for you next week for YouTube people. It's special. But we are going to use this, that went well, right? Which could be good or bad, is to sort of circle back to something we spoke about, I think in the first episode, where I heavily recommended the Masters of the Universe reboot.
Yes, you did.
Just to be clear, we are aware that there are allegations against Jared Leto, who plays Skeletor in it. They are allegations at this point, but we're conscious of that. But it's true to say that since the film has gone to Amazon recently, there are some aspects of it that have been going viral and getting new sort of trending type commentary.
Was that right? Did I mess up the words?
No, those are the words. Once more with feeling, perhaps?
Don't test me, woman.
So, with that said, you fucking loved it.
I loved it. He-Man and Masters of the Universe was the first sort of toy range that I remember growing up with, where it was like every Christmas or whatever. That was my toy thing.
And He-Man did this, didn't he?
Yeah,
you could make him flick. And he had battle scar.
I didn't have the battle damage one, but yeah. And also they were all the same model. Skeletor was exactly the same, just painted blue. But so I watched the cartoon obviously a lot, and I loved it. I wonder if that film would in any way work for people who aren't familiar with it. There were so many in-jokes.
Yeah.
It didn't take itself seriously at any point, and yet weirdly there were a couple of moments where it doesn't matter if we spoil it, does it really, but where He-Man's father dies, and you go, actually that was for what this is, that was a really well acted scene, and there was some stakes.
Yes,
there was a kick-ass what's her name, Teela,
but his dad was Paddy Considine, and everything Paddy Considine does is amazing. So I think that's more of a Paddy Considine thing than a film thing.
It was he was really charismatic, really funny. All the the laughing that they used to do. Orko appears at the end with a moral at the end. So one thing, so if you're watching this with a young son or daughter and you want them to enjoy it, show them a few of the old ones first. I think so.
Because then the extended ha's at the end will make a fucking lot more sense.
Also, it was, normally I would hate anything so CGI-y, normally, because it just doesn't feel real, and Cringer in it is very CGI and not the greatest CGI CGI you'll ever see. And I was thinking, and it's very colourful. Normally these things are done quite dark.
I
There's
like
lots
that.
of
The
sort of,
colour palette was
and the colour palette was cartoony, and therefore, why does this CGI not bother me? Because it's a live action cartoon, and therefore this sort of
It should be
cartooniness
stupid,
to it felt real to it. I don't know. I thought it was great. I thought he was great.
But you watched it at home.
I watched it over 2 nights at home.
You're part of the problem, right?
I know I am.
If
I mean,
you
I
say
wouldn't-
that you love film, you should watch it in a cinema in one sitting. And
Totally agree.
if you are going to watch it at home, don't be splitting it up unless it's The Irishman, which, let's be honest,
which
is best consumed in 3 or 4 chunks.
No, I think it's really interesting that you the only reason I wanted to bring it up is this sort of subject, really, is that 3 or 4 weeks ago, you just watched it in the cinema. 3 or 4 weeks later, I'm watching it for free because I have Amazon Prime, so not technically for free. On my TV channel over on my TV for 2 nights. And it's just, do you remember like growing up, it would be on the cinema and like 6 to 9 months later you could rent it.
But you'd hear
and then
that-
6 months after that you could buy it.
Do you remember that your friend would have gone to America and
Yeah.
seen a film and it was like fucking time travel?
Yes.
My mate saw Back to the Future like 6 months before it was out in the UK. I mean, could I just say to anybody watching this, when you watch it at home, that's watching telly, in my view. You're watching telly, you're not watching a film. And for those pricks that say, I've got a cinema room, no, you haven't. A cinema is it's like a library. It exists separate to your house. If you've got nice chairs and a big screen, you might even have a fucking popcorn machine, and you might even employ a person with a flashlight. You haven't got a fucking cinema.
Right. This is the first time you've genuinely offended me.
Right.
Shall I tell you why? Because you know that
That's what you're building.
You know that I've got builders in. That's exactly what. I'm not building a cinema. It's a little
Are you
spare
calling
room
it
in my
cinema
house.
room?
No, but I am going to occasionally go to people want to come round for it's a screening room. What a sorry, what a wanker.
Yes. I think
No,
the
but I know what you
cinema
mean.
is so sacrosanct. I mean, thank God this summer we never got to discuss the Odyssey, because in fairness to you were like, until I've seen it on IMAX, I'm not going to share my opinion.
What I've looked up is I thought there was IMAX and then there wasn't. There are different types of IMAX. So there is one huge IMAX in Waterloo, but there are other slightly smaller IMAXs, and you go, maybe I'll go to a smaller IMAX. That's just to kind of so I get a sort of IMAXy feel, but I don't have to watch this. One recommendation of a film that I saw last night that I had no expectations of. It was called The Drama with Robert Pattinson and what's her name, Zendaya.
I saw that.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Agreed. It's very.
It's like that for a lot of it.
Yeah,
it's
I saw some people,
but it's funny,
it's beyond cringe. I did laugh out loud.
The end half hour, you are just like, oh God, he does a wedding speech at the end that is just it's all horrific.
It is,
but it's kind of sweet and oddly romantic, and I thought both of their performances.
It's
were
also
great.
fucking science fiction. The idea that Robert Pattinson could get Zendaya, that is at the level of science fiction.
Yeah, well, he is Batman now.
He's really not though. Something's with. I'm about to talk about men's bodies.
What's this?
I don't know.
When did this happen?
Who knows?
You.
Well, that's actually an old Shakespearean word. That's all grammatically correct if we were in 400 AD. Chaucer was after that.
Arseholes.
Well, there you go. I nearly fucked it, but fair play to Will. Will bided his time and cleared up my little poo-poo mess.
Nice, well done.
There you go. Yeah, coughing the fucking live at the
Did
Apollo.
we finish
on
our
that.
movie chat? That was it, really, wasn't it?
It was all building towards that, really.
Bastards.
That is the end of this episode. That's the 5th episode of Well, That Went Well. But it's not quite the final one, because we've got a special episode next week.
Yeah.
It'll be going up at Friday, 10 p.m, as usual.
Yeah, if it was the final episode, though.
So, Tom, I've got to say, it's not the last episode. There's a whole brand new...
It's the last episode as far as I'm concerned, because we're only doing... We're about to record a few bits for next week's episode.
That'll be next week.
No, it won't.
That'll be
all right.
all recorded, the Q&A.
Watch it next week and see if I've changed.
Totally different... Totally different time zone.
Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, even though we've only got one episode left and
of this series.
This has been an absolute pleasure, Jeff, I have to say.
But it's not the end.
All right,
Stop
but I'm
saying
just saying that this has been an absolute pleasure,
It has,
Jeff.
but
Do you know what, Jeff? Fuck off. I've had enough.
Yeah, okay.
of this shit.
Yeah, things have a natural life cycle, don't they?